In the heart of the ancient forest, where sunlight barely pierced the canopy and shadows danced like restless spirits, a lone wolf prowled. His fur was a dark gray, nearly black, blending seamlessly into the gloom. To those who dared enter this forbidden place, he was a ghost, a predator who watched from the shadows but rarely revealed himself. Yet the wolf had a purpose far greater than survival. He was the guardian of a secret buried deep within the forest's twisted roots. Long ago, the forest had been alive with the sounds of men. Lumberjacks and hunters carved paths through the wilderness, heedless of the ancient warnings, whispered by the wind. Then came the night of the great storm. Thunder rolled like the wrath of gods, and lightning cleaved the sky. When the dawn broke, the men were gone, their camps abandoned, their tools left to rust. The forest had reclaimed its dominion, and the wolf had taken his place as its sentinel. The villagers at the forest's edge spoke in hushed tones of the shadow wolf. They told tales of glowing eyes in the darkness and mournful howls that echoed through the night. Children were warned not to stray too far, and even the bravest hunters dared not trespass. Those who ventured too deep never returned, their fates left to the imagination of those who remained. One moonless night, a stranger arrived in the village. Dressed in a weathered cloak and carrying a map, he claimed to be a scholar seeking the truth behind the legends. His voice was calm, his demeanor unshaken by the villagers' warnings. "Every tale has a kernel of truth," he said, his eyes gleaming with determination. "I aim to find it." The stranger entered the forest at dawn, his footsteps swallowed by the foul, moss-covered ground. The air grew colder as he ventured deeper, the silence oppressive. Hours passed, and the forest seemed alive, its trees looming like silent sentinels. Then, as twilight descended, he saw the wolf. The creature stood on a ridge, its form framed by the faint glow of dusk. Its eyes, golden and piercing, met the stranger's gaze. For a moment, time seemed to freeze. The stranger raised a hand as if in greeting, but the wolf turned and disappeared into the shadows. Driven by curiosity, the stranger followed. The trail led to a clearing where the remnants of an ancient altar stood. Runes, worn but still visible, adorned the stones. At the center lay a chest, its surface carved with symbols that seemed to shift when looked at directly. The air was thick with an unspoken warning. The stranger reached for the chest, but a low growl froze him in place. The wolf emerged from the shadows, its stance rigid, its eyes ablaze. The stranger hesitated, his hand trembling. In that moment he understood this was no ordinary guardian. The wolf was bound to the secret, its very existence tied to the ancient power hidden within the chest. To disturb it would be to unravel something far greater than he could comprehend. The stranger stepped back, his heart pounding. The wolf watched, unblinking, until the man turned and fled into the night. As he reached the forest's edge, the distant howl of the wolf echoed behind him, a mournful song that spoke of duty and loss. The villagers saw the stranger return, his face pale and his eyes haunted. He spoke nothing of what he had seen, and within days, he was gone. The forest remained untouched, its secret preserved, the lone wolf ever vigilant. Some say the wolf is more than just a guardian, that he is a soul bound to the forest, cursed or blessed to protect its ancient truth. Others believe he is the last remnant of a forgotten age, holding back a darkness that must never be unleashed. Whatever the truth, the forest remains, and the wolf's howl continues to haunt the night, a warning and a mystery that endures. And so the secret remains, waiting for the one who dares to uncover it, or the one who understands why it must never be disturbed.